WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner, Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Thank you for joining us as always. We are just delighted to have you with us. It isn't as pretty this Monday as it was last Monday, but that's okay. It's still Monday. It isn't freezing. There's no snow. It's not even rain today. There was rain last night, though. Lots and lots of rain last night, but that's okay. Rain brings those beautiful flowers, and pretty soon we're going to have green grass and pretty, pretty flowers. But welcome to the Community Bell Show. We're so glad to have you with us today. Got a couple of things I want to talk to you before I introduce our guests, though. First of all, this past Saturday, the Women's Informal Network, a 32-year-old organization, celebrated its annual Women's History Month program. It was a wonderful, wonderful luncheon. I got to tell you, we celebrated some great ladies, and I'm going to tell you just who they are because it's important that you know who these wonderful ladies are in your community. Sometimes we let stuff slip by and we don't acknowledge people when we need to acknowledge people. And then when later on we start coming, oh, we should have done A, B, C, and D. Well, we're going to acknowledge them today. First of all, Miss Vanessa Cohen. Vanessa is a project manager at Huntington Bank, one of our honorees, Women's Informal Network. Then we have Tashana Gill. Tashana Gill has a nickname of being the political princess. She has been doing politics for as long as I can remember, although she's a very young lady. She's been doing politics in the metropolitan, actually all over the state of Michigan. Tashana was honored. And just a little bit about Tashana. She said, as when she received her honor, that her mother rarely comes to any of the events when she's honored. And so this is the first time her mother came, and her mother was there with her today. And she was simply delighted to have her mom with her at the Women's Informal Network honoring. Then there's Reverend Dr. Adrian Booth Johnson. Now, Adrian Booth Johnson was also our guest speaker. Talk about a story. She had just a marvelous story about growing up and running track and wanting to do all sorts of things. Got pregnant at 15. Couldn't run track, of course. Got married because she said she was from the hills in Kentucky. And if you got pregnant in the hills of Kentucky, you did get married. There was no question about whether you were going to get married or not. So she got married, was divorced at 19. However, Adrian went on to graduate from college, graduated from Divinity School, went on to be an executive at Coca-Cola Company. And I met her when she was an executive at Coca-Cola Company. She had an office here in Detroit as well as in Atlanta. And she and I met. She took me on a tour of the Coke factory here in the city, and we became friends. But the interesting about Adrian is when she met her husband, she was visiting with the Detroit Pistons way back in the 80s. Not that's way back, but in the 80s, let me put it back early. In the late 80s, early 90s, middle 90s, she was visiting with the Pistons. And she said, something said to her, you need to go to the airport because you're going to meet your husband. Now, how does that happen? We say, we had this feeling, something told me. She goes to the airport. Husband's talking on a payphone. In those days, in the early 90s, we still had payphones in the airports. He's on the phone in the airport. She walks by. He gets off the phone because he saw her. They met in the airport. They've been married for 32 years now. Just an amazing story. He is the best young man you will ever want to see. He is himself as an attorney, went to U of M, lived in Detroit. She did not live in Detroit. So just a great love story, and they're still married. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful couple. But as our speaker for the WIN event, she talked about her efforts in the African nations. She has traveled to almost all of the African nations, and in Ghana has set up a business for women to learn how to sew. She's provided sewing machines, 10, 20, 30, 40 sewing machines for women to learn how to sew. And what they do is, and this is going to sound strange, but for us in America, we understand monthly women have cycles. In other countries, particularly in many of the poorer countries, they have no sanitary napkins. They can't go to the drugstore every month and get some. She helped them learn how to make them with these sewing machines. Absolutely amazing. And that's what they do. And they make money doing that. So she has done all sorts of wonderful things across this world. Last year, she brought one of the ambassadors from the African nation here that I had a chance to meet. And just wonderful things to help women across the world. So that's Adrian Johnson. Let me go now to Dina Neely, the founder of Detroit Voltage. Now, you hear everybody talking about electric cars, and we need to all have electric cars because of our energy situation and global warming, and we're using up all the air because it's being polluted. Although those who are in control now don't think that it's being polluted, but that's a story for another show. But Dina Neely is one of the first women to own an electric battery operating company that you can go and charge your car with. Aileen Nixon, a community activist. This woman is 84 years old. You would not have known it from the looks of her when she received her award. And she is one who has helped children across our Southeast Michigan, but in particular in the Ecorse area, Ecorse Public Schools. And she has helped numerous children with clothing and being able to get to school and not be harassed by other children. Because you know how children can be if you don't wear the same things that they think you ought to be wearing. Children can be pretty mean. Aileen Nixon, one of our honorees, community activist. She's a wonderful woman. Jerry Spicer, CEO of We the Cyber Boss. Cyber security. Now, who ever thought that we'd have a woman with her own cybersecurity company? That's what she does. Phenomenal. And talk about needing cybersecurity. If you starting to get calls from people talking about you won $1 million, all I need you to do is give me your bank account number so I can send you the money. Please don't give them your account number. Please don't do that. But Jerry Spicer, she is cybersecurity. And Tabise Ward. Tabise, another executive in the technology world. We've got some phenomenal women in our world, and we need to salute them and honor them at every turn. And I wouldn't be complete unless I mentioned Pat Cole. Pat Cole is the founder of the Women's Informal Network. Pat Cole's been a friend for 40 years now, and Pat is just a wonderful woman, businesswoman in her own right. Has done all sorts of things in the business world and in this metropolitan area. Pat Cole is the founder of the Women's Informal Network. So congratulations to the women of the Informal Network for a wonderful program. Now, the other stuff that I did this weekend, I got to tell you, I'm going to hold this one up because this is my new pastor at the New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church. Now, for those of you who know, our previous pastor, the Reverend Doctor, she was such a wonderful, wonderful woman. I can't tell you. But she passed away 8 years ago. It's been 8 years, everybody. But you know what? God sends you what you need when you need him. It just so happens that Wilma R. Johnson, Reverend Dr. Wilma R. Johnson, who was our pastor, passed away 8 years ago. But on the 100th anniversary of New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, we selected a pastor. And the pastor is this young man. His name is Reverend M. Andrew Davis from South Carolina. From South Carolina. Who knew we were going to choose somebody from way down in South Carolina? I'm going to tell you, it took 3 different search committees. 3 different search committees before this young man came to us. Come visit us at New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church. You will be pleasantly surprised. But his installation happened to have been yesterday. It was a wonderful service. Reverend Perkins from Greater Christ, retired pastor of Greater Christ, was the one who preached the installation service. Reverend Bland was the officiator. I mean, we just had a great time in the Lord on yesterday, welcoming Reverend Andrew Davis to New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church. So come see us sometime, 10 o'clock service, corner of Livernois and Pembroke. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Now that I've told you all those wonderful things that happened this weekend, let me start talking about what's going to happen the rest of the week. I've got a special guest today. And you've seen her before on the show, but you've never seen her in person. She was, in the tube before. She wasn't in the person before. She's in person today. My friend Barbara Patton. Now, Barbara has done all sorts of amazing things in this community and continues to do amazing things in this community. And I'm just delighted to have Barbara Patton as our guest. Barbara is the president of the National Association of Black Women. Let me read it right. National Association of Black Women Business Professionals. Barbara, almost, it's close. It's good enough. Welcome, Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you on the show. We are just pleased to have you because we got stuff to talk about today. We got some events coming up from our organization. But first of all, I want you to talk about the organization, how long it's been around, how it got started, what it does.
Well, the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women's Clubs Incorporated. It's an extremely long title. So
Yes, that's
we,
okay.
We just call it the B&Ps.
Yes.
The B&Ps. It's a national organization. It was founded back in 1935. So
Mm,
now, you know, back then when depression and everything else was going on,
Mhm.
and you know, Black women, Black people, period, did not have all of that favor back then. We were
Yes.
back in segregation and the rest of it, except some very tenacious women decided they were going to do what they were going to do.
Absolutely. Most of them, when we decide we're not having it, we're done.
We're done.
We do what
We
we
make
need
it
to do.
happen.
That's right.
We make it
Then
happen.
they did it.
And that's what they did. And then in 1951, the Detroit Club was founded. So we've been around now 74 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And our mission, of course, is to promote and protect business and professional women, to serve as advisors for young people who want to go into businesses and professions,
Mhm.
and of course, to improve the quality of life for communities in general. You know, that thing that you always do.
Well,
You know?
we got to work at it. And
Yeah.
it's good. It's good stuff, but it's easy. It's easy when you like what you're doing.
That's correct.
When you know you're going to get tired sometimes, but that's okay. And when you talk about how old the clubs are, I want you to know that my daughters were members of this club when they were teenagers. That's how old the club is. And
They were,
Yes.
and look what they're doing now.
Yes.
Look how well we train them. And, you know, I consider that to be part of our success.
Yes, absolutely. That is a testament to the women who started this club and the women who continue to work at this club and what the outcomes can be. We are just truly blessed to have that kind of initiative and those kind of women who continue to work hard to do that, to make sure that we bring young women on and continue to do
Absolutely.
that. So continue. I'm sorry, Nathan, I'll be interrupting all along. Go on, talk.
No. I mean, so that's kind of who we are. We have several platforms that we do programmatically, and that's leadership, entrepreneurship, technology, and then service. And so one of the things we're going to talk about today comes under service.
All right. Service. Now, and then you've heard me talk about this last year and other in years in the past. But it's this is one of those hard jobs that work takes a lot of energy. That I mean, once it's done, we're real tired, but it's really fun doing it, and you feel so pleased and you just feel excited and exhilarated because of what you have done and the people you've done it for. And I keep saying it is. What is it, Barbara? I didn't say what it was deliberately. I want you to say what it is.
It is our 34th annual community baby shower.
There.
And
there.
it is to benefit Henry Ford families who come into the hospital to have their babies. This is our, as I said, 34th year. It's our 12th year with Henry Ford.
Yes.
You know, we
started
with another hospital, and they were wonderful for our first 22 years.
Yes.
But when they merged with a bigger hospital, it was a little bit of a different culture. So sometimes, you know, as you said, God will take you somewhere else.
That's right. God takes you where you need to be. Sometimes you go kicking and screaming, but He takes you where you need to be. He's gonna get you there,
He'll make
whether
that
you
thing
like it or
happen.
not.
Right.
He's gonna get you there, and then you get over there and you said, "Oh,
This is where
okay.
we should have been.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
helping me
you.
see."
Yes. So this baby shower is, again, very different.
Mhm.
It is not one for expectant mothers.
No.
It is one, again, where community people and organizations, churches, individuals, they bring gifts to the hospital, and those gifts are then awarded through the social work department to families who come and have their babies that are in need. The one thing most people don't know, your baby cannot leave the hospital unless it has a car seat. And car seats are expensive.
Yes, and I know a lot of people don't know that because when our children were born, that was not a requirement. Mother sat in the back seat with the baby in her arms, and we drove on off home.
Happily so.
Yes, but not anymore.
No.
You must have a car seat to take that baby home. And when I know you want to take the baby home, you got to have a car seat. That's where we come in.
Yes. And so this shower, for the whole 34 years we've been doing it, is always on the same day. So once you put it on your calendar, just let it roll every year. So it's always the first Thursday in April at 5:30. And you can now put 5:30 at Henry Ford Hospital. 30, now let's see, not 30, 34 years, but the address is 2799 West Grand Boulevard. So if you are interested in coming, please come by. Let me say, do not come through the front door on the boulevard. Come to the entrance off of the service drive of the lodge. If you're going toward downtown, you would get off at Pallister, drive just a little way. You'll see something that says East Clinic. Drive in there. We have valet parking. You don't have to worry about parking. You come right in and we'll be in the atrium. It is fun. It is really fun. A very short program. And we have a baby fashion show. That's the highlight. You should see these little ones trying to walk down with the bubble machine, but it's fun. And then once we do that, we go upstairs and eat great food. So, it's really like a reunion because we have people who've been there all 34 years.
Yes.
And, who can say no to a baby? Come on, Edna.
Absolutely. Who can say no? And I want you to know, even during COVID, we did not stop. During COVID, we simply had drive-bys. We had people who would drive by. We would be outside the entrance waiting to accept their gifts from us, and we would take them out of the trunk of their cars or their donation via check or money order or money envelope. We would accept that envelope, and we do accept cash, check, money order. We do accept that.
Absolutely.
So if you can't get to the store to get a car seat or some diapers or whatever, we accept your monies and we will do that for you. So do know that all of that is so much appreciated. But we didn't stop with COVID. We'd have the drive-bys, and the people would simply pull their cars up. We'd take it out, and they'd keep going. And so it's such a wonderful community event. And it's a fun event. You have people that are accustomed to coming every year, and we sometimes only see them once a year.
Right.
But they are so excited to be there, and we're excited to see them.
Absolutely.
And there are churches, talk about the church effort too, that kind of plan to help out. That's their one time a year event.
That there are many churches that are involved. New Hope Baptist Church is one of those that's been there 34 years. And I have to say they are our highest contributor. In those 34 years, New Hope Baptist has probably donated more than $40,000.
Wow.
Now, all of those monies, of course, are in a dedicated, account. But, it costs to put this on. And every penny goes toward the shower. So we still do old-fashioned, put invitations in the mail. We do online with Eventbrite. So you can register on Eventbrite. Let me give you the exact registration site. NANBPWC 34th Community Baby Shower. Now, I tried to go on the other day and just put in community baby shower because most people are not going to remember all of that. And it will pop up. It will give you some choices. But they have been there 34 years. Tau Alpha Omega chapter of the AKAs has been there 34 years. Russell Street Baptist, the Kiwanis.
There are people.
Chums.
Yes.
We could just keep going. So there are a number of organizations that have been there a very long time, and we appreciate all of them because you don't have to do this.
Exactly.
You really don't. So we are appreciative of everyone who comes. And I think once you come,
you come back.
You keep coming back.
You just keep coming back because it's a fun event. And as you said, the baby fashion show and the baby walk that's the one that kind of gets everybody.
It gets everybody.
Yes.
And so I don't know if I said the time, 5:30. So this year it's April the 3rd. That's the first Thursday in April. And I think we always are with opening day.
Yes, with the baseball.
We're always with opening day for the Tigers.
Yes.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's Friday this year.
Oh, is it Friday?
Yes.
So we're just off one day. That's good. Less traffic.
Yes.
So April the 3rd, 5:30 at Henry Ford Hospital downtown. So come join us, please.
Please do. And if you can't join us, send a donation. We accept those. we appreciate those. And if you can't be there, I'll just get your gift and keep driving. You don't have to stay.
Yeah.
There'll be someone out there to accept it. If you can't stay, just drive by, say, hey, I've got something for you. And someone will be there to receive it gratefully and send you a big thank you for just thinking of us because babies and the mothers of those babies are so important. When you think of maternal health care, that is one of those items that you don't hear enough about.
Yeah.
It's critical that we, first of all, take care of the babies while they're in the mother's womb. To do that, we've got to take care of the mother. The mother has to understand the health challenges that she might face, and someone needs to recognize when she comes into a clinic and says she's having some issues, you need to trust that she knows what she's talking about. Unfortunately, there have been times, and there probably still are, when if you are a woman of color and you go into a clinic and you say, I'm having some issues, they kind of blow it off. I have said to those young ladies who are maybe having issues, don't let anybody tell you you're not having an issue. If you think there's something wrong,
Insist.
they check it. Don't let them say, oh, you're just pregnant. That's what happens. No, you are the best barometer of whether or not you're having an issue.
Right.
Insist they check on you. We've lost so many mothers because of that very thing, because someone blew them off. Someone said, oh, you're just pregnant. You don't know what you're talking about. We've lost so many. And because we lost the mother, we lost the baby too. Maternal health is so important. And unfortunately, the metropolitan Detroit area is one of the highest rated areas where maternal health is not getting the kind of attention it needs to get. So we want you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself if you're pregnant. Mothers of the mother, watch over your daughter if she is pregnant. And if the mother isn't there, the auntie and the daddy and somebody watch over that pregnant girl. We don't have to lose as many people as we're losing because somebody's not paying attention to their health. We just don't. It just in this day and age, we don't. It doesn't.
Who
have
would
to happen.
think in 2025 that we would be having this spike in maternal mortality?
Yes.
I mean, it just does not make sense. So
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. So,
we've got
and I
to-
know the governor is preparing a statement to come out that relates to maternal health care. We need to all be cognizant of the fact that sometimes young people just don't know. And if we're being good stewards of what God has given us, we need to help them. We need to listen to them. We need to show them. We need to talk to them about taking care of themselves and taking care of their babies.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't just happen. We need to make it happen. We need to make it happen. So Barbara, talk up some more about NANBPW. I know that's one of your favorite subjects to talk about.
Well, let me just say, when I joined some 45 years ago,
Ooh.
I said then, it's women's groups can be a little testy. Everybody knows that. We're not always so nice. We don't play in the sandbox together so well.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
No.
And I said back then, if this group turns out to be one of those, I'm out. 45 years later,
you're still in.
Oh my God.
And not only are you in, is this your second term as president or third?
Oh, girl, no.
Or fourth?
Well, this is my second
Go-
on this one, but
yeah.
this is probably my 13th year as being president.
Not consecutively,
Right,
but
yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
know.
So, yeah, but it's I'm telling you, it's a great place to have learned leadership skills and parliamentarian procedure.
Yes.
And all of those things, wherever I go to other meetings, they're like, well, how do you know that, Barb? Well, how do you, and it's just like you're clicking because you have cut your teeth on all of the things you learned in B&P.
Yes.
It is wonderful. So on that note, we are always looking for a few good women. So if you are in the category of having either currently or retired from being a professional or businesswoman, you should contact us if you are interested in wanting some good community relations. It is not a social club, even though we have big fun.
No, we work.
Yes.
We do work, everybody. Now, if
Yes.
you want to be a member, we'd love to have you. But please come with the heart of a worker, because particularly when she was president, she put you to work without telling you. She'd send you a note that says, you are now on this committee and this committee is doing A, B, C, D, and I expect you to do, and you say, oh, okay.
Sometimes you have to voluntold.
Yes, and
You
you're
know.
very good at volunteering
Thank you.
people. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
And
being one of the best.
You're such a good
Told,
member.
yeah, I
Yes.
respond appropriately when told.
So anybody who really is thinking about wanting, to do something, a lot of folks who have retired
Mhm.
come on, but we're also looking for young people,
Especially we're looking for young people
Yeah.
because those of us who are of a certain age would like to sit back and see you young people kind of take over, and we would love to be your
Yes.
support team.
Yes, pass the baton
Yes.
and let you do the wonderful things you do. So I can give my number. If anyone
Please
is
do.
interested, please call 313-537-7146. Same number if you have any questions about the baby shower. But give me a call and we can talk further about having you join this wonderful group. You see, we're in it, so it's got to be great.
Gotta
right?
be great. Gotta be great. Now, what's happening the week after the baby shower? We've got more coming.
We are having our Founders Day and Women's History observation, and you're on the committee.
Yes, I am.
Yes, that's going to be April the 8th,
Mhm.
which is a Tuesday, and it's going to be at Northwest Activities Center. And again, that starts at 6.
Yes, yes.
So please come and join us. Our honoree
Mhm.
is Cheryl, I'm blanking,
That's all right.
from COTS. Johnson,
Yes.
Cheryl Johnson from COTS. She is our Sojourner Truth Awardee, which is our highest award. So please drop by and visit us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And since you mentioned Sojourner Truth, I have the honor of saying that Alicia Bell, my daughter, was the Sojourner Truth awardee from one of our sister clubs last year. And so it's a wonderful award. NANBPW does wonderful, wonderful work. So we are just excited to be able to do that. And I have a new person, not a new person. We have another person online who's going to talk about something that we want you to know about. And it is the Honorable Alicia Bell, Chairwoman of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. Hello, Commissioner Bell. How are you?
Good, ladies. How are you today?
We are absolutely wonderful. As you heard, I'm sure we were talking about NANBPW, talking
Yes.
about the baby shower that will take place this week on Thursday, and also talking about Founders Day that will take place next week at the Northwest Activity Center. And I just mentioned that you happen to have been awarded the Sojourner Truth Award last year for our sister club.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
Yes. Wonderful
exciting.
honor. Thank you for having me last year for that extreme honor. And Cheryl Johnson is a wonderful recipient for this year. So congratulations in advance to her.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on, Commissioner Bell. I wanted to have you come on today because you've got something special coming this weekend that I want people to know about. So talk about your annual prom dress giveaway.
Absolutely. This Saturday, April 5th, will be my 18th annual prom dress giveaway for girls throughout the Tri-County area here in Michigan. I'm so happy to be able to partner again with the Boys and Girls Club at 16500 Retirement. And it's going to be another fabulous year of putting smiles on young girls' faces, as well as their parents who don't have to buy an expensive prom dress. So
Yes.
it's a great, great day. We have shoes, jewelry, beautiful dresses. So come on out. No registration is required. We do ask that if you could come up and set an appointment to call for an appointment time, but you don't have to do that either. We just want to see all the girls in the Metro Detroit area who are in need of a beautiful prom dress.
Thank you so much. What time of the time? There's a flyer runs. The time is 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, again at the Boys and Girls Club, and 16500 is between Southfield and Greenfield. It's a beautiful new Boys and Girls Club. That Boys and Girls Club was dedicated, and that's in my district, but it was dedicated to Detroit when the Super Bowl was here. every year that the Super Bowl, the NFL host city has a Super Bowl, they donate to a nonprofit, and they donated that Boys and Girls Club to Detroit when we had the 2006, I believe it was, Super Bowl here. So it's a beautiful facility. Big Sean has poured into it, a lot of corporate sponsors. So I'm so grateful that they allow me to have my event there every year for the past 18 years. So it was a great event, beautiful dresses. They're new dresses. Some of them are gently used, but a majority of them are new with price tags still on them. So come on out and get a beautiful free dress for prom.
And it's such a wonderful community event because we have all sorts of people who donate. Carmen Harlan has donated beautiful dresses to the event. Many of the dignitaries around the city have donated dresses to the event. We have people who bring in brand new jewelry
Yes.
and purses and shoes to the event. And it's become quite a day for people to see each other because they see each other once a year at the prom dress event. But they come out and it's really quite a day. But the faces of the young girls and the faces of the parents when they see their daughters in these dresses is
Mhm.
priceless.
The dresses is amazing how well the dresses fit them. It's like it was made just for them. And we have all sizes from 0 to 22. Again, as you stated, with purses, shoes, jewelry. You can get everything you need to outfit yourself for your prom on this Saturday, April 5th at the Boys and Girls Club. We're so happy to be the longest running prom dress giveaway in the Tri-County area. So I'm just so happy that so many people are now copying off of me.
Yes, we got lots of folks who are deciding that this is a good thing to do. So we're pleased that we've started something.
Yes, absolutely. So there's enough dresses to go around, enough girls to go around, but I'm the originator and I'm very pleased to be able to offer this again for the 18th year.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, when you started doing this, Alicia, Commissioner Bell, what made you decide you wanted to have a prom dress giveaway?
Well, back in 2007, 2008, as many of you remember, we were going through a economic downturn in the country, and it was a way to help alleviate some of the costs associated with prom. Now, of course, 18 years ago it was expensive. You can think about how much more expensive it is today. Um, Young ladies have to do their hair, their nails, their face. They have to have their dresses, their purses, shoes. It can cost upwards of $2,000. As
Oh
a
my
matter of
God.
fact,
That still amazes me. It
well, I just
still
heard of,
amazes me because I'm thinking about your prom.
oh, well, that was
Some
40 years ago.
somehow
It wasn't
it
$2,000.
wasn't $2,000.
No,
It
it
wasn't
was not.
$1,000, I don't believe.
Well, a lot has changed in 40 years.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. 40 years doesn't make a difference, doesn't it? 40
But yeah,
years.
one young lady was
Whew.
that her mom had paid $2,000 for her dress this year. $2,000 for just the dress. So, some families can afford it. That's beautiful, but a lot of families cannot. So, for those families who, want a beautiful experience without the cost, they can certainly come to the event on Saturday. We have lots of volunteers. We have lots of ladies that act as personal shoppers. They'll take the young ladies around and help them find their color, their size. You can try on as many dresses as you like. So it's just a great day.
It is, and we are just so excited to have this kind of event in our community.
Yes.
Um, and sometimes, we tell the girls, take two. We got
Yeah.
lots of
Yeah.
dresses.
Yeah, we have a lot of dresses. We have hundreds and hundreds of dresses.
Yes. And there have been such generous people. Many of the boutiques have donated dresses. The bridal salons have donated dresses. I just got a call last week from another bridal salon who wants me to come look at dresses to donate. And
Mhm.
so people are just very, very generous when they see that the event is really helping people.
Absolutely. And then to get those new dresses from bridal salons is just amazing. A unique lady has been able to give us dresses over the many years. So we just get donations from all across the area. So it's a great event. And I'm just so pleased to be able to do it every year. I say this is going to be my last year And then once we go through it and we see all the girls, how beautiful they are, I say, okay, I'll do it one more year. One more year. And how we here we are 18 years later. So, but no, it's a great event. And we have the young people from Cass Technical High School National Honor Society. This is going to be one of their community events. So we'll have members from them, their honor society, coming out on Friday to help set up, and on Saturday to help us as well.
Oh, that's great. And do know that Friday is quite a busy day,
Yeah.
because, after the event every year, we have, 2 men in a truck come, and we pack all the dresses up in these big boxes, and they take them and put them in storage.
Yes.
So on the Friday before the event, they bring all those boxes back, and we have to take them out of those boxes.
Yes.
And
Friday is labor intensive.
yes, Friday is definitely labor intensive. So we, have to unpack and hang them up and put them on the racks and sizes. And when you walk in, you think you're walking into a boutique because they are all beautifully set up.
Hmm.
And and then Miss Beverly King handles all the jewelry and the purses, and Beverly takes great pains to do that. She won't let anybody else touch them. She's the director of the shoes and and the purses and the jewelry, so Beverly takes care of that. But it's a fun event. It's a community event because we do have community people who come out,
Yes.
also
Yes.
volunteer to help take these dresses out of the boxes and hang them up. And I'm telling you,
It's a
it is
great, we
more.
have a lot of great community people from Warrendale and from Cody Rouge and just from all across my district who love to come out and help as well. So it's a community event, like you said, and then we spread the word. Cody High School is one of the largest high schools in my district, and they're excited about having girls come out. And then we had one of the school for the deaf. They're bringing out a couple of girls. We extended out to Alternative for Girls, Vista Maria, the Children's Center. So we extended to all of our agencies throughout the county as well. So it's a big community event that really goes to help our young ladies have a wonderful, once in a lifetime opportunity to go to their prom.
Thank you so much, Commissioner, for doing this for 18 years. We appreciate it. We wish you continued success with the prom dress giveaway. Anything else going on in Wayne County you'd like to share with the community?
Well, we do have our full board meeting on this Thursday, and actually, we're going to be honoring the Renaissance basketball girls and boys basketball team for being PSL championships. So we're going to have them come down and honor them at our board meeting on this Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So both boys and girls team won the state championship?
Yes. Yep.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Now that's quite a feat. That's highly unusual for boys and the girls.
Yep.
Very good.
Honor the Renaissance student athletes on Thursday. That's always great when we can honor our young people. So we're going to do that this week.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. And it's ironic that you mentioned that the student athletes are both from Renaissance, and Renaissance, as you know, is one of our academic choice high schools.
Hmm.
And I will relate a story that goes back probably, 35, 40 years ago, maybe 45 years ago, when I happened to be a member of the Detroit School Board. And at the time, we were passing a resolution that said every young person who wanted to be in extracurricular activities had to have a C average.
Mm.
If you wanted to play football, basketball, baseball, music, whatever it was, you had to have a C average. I want you to know that meeting lasted from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock because there were those who felt we were being horrible by saying that those young people had to have a C average to play sports or to play in the band or to be on the cheer team or the dance team or any of the other extracurricular activities, because we were requiring that they had to have a C average. Those folks wanted to burn us alive. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in my life. I can't believe this. But
Academics first. Academics should always.
you are going to school for academics. If you get a scholarship playing football, I love it. If you get a scholarship playing basketball, running track, swimming, a band, any of those others, I love it. but the goal is to be able to read, write, and compute when you leave.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they ripped us up one side and down the other. The coaches, the parents of the pep teams, and all of them. We were keeping their kids from getting scholarships because we wanted them to have a C average to graduate, to be in those activities. So about 10:45, I said, "Excuse me, call the question."
Yeah.
We've discussed this enough.
Right. Right.
Yes, but I was just that meeting still sticks in my mind because I was so amazed that there were people who thought that it was more important that this child be able to pass a ball or bake a basket or make a touchdown or run track than it was for him to have a C average so he could read, write, and compute and take care of himself and his family and her family.
But when you were recruited and got to the university, then what?
Yeah,
Right,
then when you get there and you can't do anything, you get kicked out anyway. So
Yeah. Right.
it was just absolutely amazing, absolutely
The
amazing.
main
So
thing. The
to
main
hear
thing.
now that Renaissance High School, one of our academic special schools, has both the basketball and the football team championships, it can be done. You can play sports and be academically sound.
Yes. Absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
I'm just so pleased to see it that one of our academic schools of choice
Mm-hmm.
have
Doing
both
well.
have succeeded, and they played sports and they got the grades too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It is
They're-
not. It is not. They are not mutually exclusive.
Exclusive.
Right. Right. It's
They
not
are
either
not
or. You can
mutually
do both.
exclusive.
You can definitely do
Yes,
both.
yes. Well, thank you so much, Commissioner Bell, for being on with us today. We appreciate you sharing your information, particularly about Renaissance getting the state championships in sports, basketball, and football. I'm
Nope,
just
girls
delighted.
basketball,
Girls basketball and the boys football. I'm
Nope,
just delighted.
basketball for both.
Sorry.
Tech has football.
Basketball for both. Basketball for both girls and the guys. And Cass got the football.
And Gas
Here we are. Our two academic excellent schools. You can do it. You can read, write, compute, and play basketball and football and track and all those other things.
All of it.
It says that you just have to do what you need to do to take care of business. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be excited about Friday, getting the dresses unloaded, and Saturday when the girls come and try them on and take them home. Thank
Yes.
you, Bell. We appreciate you so much. Barbara Patton, thank you for being on with us to talk about the NANBPW baby shower that's coming up on Thursday. So we've got Thursday for the baby shower, Friday to unpack the boxes, and Saturday to give the dresses away.
Hallelujah.
It's going to be a busy weekend. one
Hallelujah.
more weekend. It's going to be real busy, but we're just excited to be able to do it. Thank you both ladies for
Thank
being
you.
on today. I appreciate you. We'll have you back to talk about some other stuff at some other point.
Be
Thank
happy
you
to
so
come.
much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening to the Community Bell Show. It's always a pleasure to have all of you come and listen to us. Thank you across the country to my friends in Texas and my friends all over the country. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
Hi, I'm Edna Bell. Please watch me on WVTC Radio Detroit at 4 o'clock every Monday. WVTC Detroit is your place to be. Edna Bell, the Community Bell Show. I'm your host.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.